Okay, we're back. Okay, so let's continue with these things.
Yeah.
So, first of all, your parents don't want this relationship to prosper
At all.
So,
and to make
India
matters
Jaguar.
worse, I was such a free spirit. I'm just well, Mom, I have a boyfriend. This is my boyfriend, you know. Meanwhile, my mom is looking at me like she's trying to be composed, like, okay, boyfriend, all right. And I'm like, you know my parents. I'm like, yeah, the mother is your was your pediatric. And I'm like, oh yeah. So the mom was actually my pediatric for about maybe like 7 years or something. So yeah. So I was thinking, mimi nakupeleka kuona daktari kumbe wewe.
Jaquat it is.
So straight into Jaquat. And Jaquat was nice, you know. But even at Jaquat, I still wanted to do music. So Jaquat was quite,
and
you know.
Have you told your parents, I want to do this music thing?
They can tell.
Forget even your parents, have you decided for yourself, I want to go this music thing after high school? You haven't, huh?
Right now, it's passion driving me.
Oh, it's passion.
Yeah, I just love to sing. I love to compose because of that whole experience I had with sobriety, composing songs, singing. I felt happy. I felt content. I felt
alive.
It was just beautiful. And we basically did gospel contemporary. So I felt it was a nice space to be in. It was just beautiful to just be in that space. Sometimes you could be going through some stuff in school. You know, you're a teenager. But when we meet and we sing, I could be calm after that and I would be okay. So it was
therapeutic.
Thank you. It was very therapeutic. So I went looking for it. Yeah, I'm in school and everything. I'm all the way in Jaquat, but I'm thinking, hey, me want to sing. So of course the girls, sobriety, we're thinking, yeah, let's take this further. Let's look for a record deal. That's what people do, you know. That's what we think the industry is, but shock on us. So
and they have a gap here. Majority of them.
They have a gap here. I'm in Jaquat. I'm like, nice. So don't worry. I'll handle my parents. You, where are we going? Tunaenda studio gani? So of course we were listening to all these guys. By then now, when I was finishing high school, the industry now was 98. The industry was now, this is probably around, I finished 98, so it was around 99, 2000. The industry was really robust. There was Kala Mashaka, there was Darling P, there was Gidi Gidi Maji Maji, there was Ted Josiah's Kahol, Crew, yani yao ndio walikuwa nashika. Nazizi, them not yet. That came a little later.
But Nazizi was actually on Kenyan First Chapter as her solo, not as necessary noise. Mama, nataka kuwa rapa.
So there was that vibe. We think, even as guys, we can, you know, we can try and squeeze ourselves in there. And the place where I was performing then and singing was in church. I went to a place called Glory Tabernacle that their head pastor then was Wale Akiemi.
Wale?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yes. And the guys who were pastored under Wale Akiemi, Big Ted, Big Kev, so were the guys who used to go to Wale Akiemi's church. And even then now I realize that you could tell that motivational thing is there. And man, the sermons we got then were powerful. Very, very powerful. And I think they impacted us in different ways. He was a very powerful, and he had a passion for the youth and everything. So we were free to have concerts. So those rap community having their concert, those I don't know who, kuna walikuwa kutoka sijui wapi, and we used to have concerts on Sunday. It was such a nice space to be in. So I've come from sobriety and I've now found a church where, hey,
was this the one at Haile Selassie? Was this church at Haile Selassie?
Yes, it was at that
place there.
Hey, ilikuwa poa sana.
So,
we enjoyed it.
A big question I have to ask you. Then, was Wahoo also part of this?
She was, but we never met.
You never met her this time?
I only met her once, and I realized who she was way after I met her with Nameless. And I was told, oh, that's Nameless's girlfriend. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay, Wahoo, Nameless's girlfriend. Then later it hit me, you're the chick for praise and worship. As in, so it was much later. But she was also in that whole thing. So all of us were in that kalupa of kujeni church yetu, you perform. This one goes to this church. We basically started,
And are you performing as
No.
Cecilia
No.
or sobriety?
No, it was sobriety.
Sobriety,
So
yeah.
basically doing stuff as sobriety. And the only time I could do performances by myself was as a dancer. Dancing Christian music.
Okay.
That was it.
Amani, your roots are in church like this. I'm shocked because of where the story is going.
Even ilikuwa touch. So that was that, you know. And you know, the girls at sobriety were like, hey, you know, let's take this further. I didn't know many people, but I met someone, I'm not sure where I met. Let me not say, I can't remember, but we met this guy called Jimmy Okomo. And he was like, yeah, you know what, let me manage you guys. Let me take you. He took us for recording at a place in South Beak, JICA. There's a recording studio by JICA there. And we did our first recording.
And that was? As sobriety now.
As sobriety. And I can't remember the song. I'm sure the other members, I'm sure they remember. If they watch this, I'm sure most of them will remember.
So this was then your first studio experience?
My first studio experience was at a studio in South B, at JICA. It was funded by JICA, I think, yeah. So that's why we recorded, and Jimmy Okumu was our manager. And he's like, yeah, let's see whether this can be played in radio stations. It got played at a few radio stations. He's like, yeah, I need to introduce you to some guys. These guys have formed a company.
In the comments, tell us what song this was.
Yes, please.
Tell us what song this was that
yes,
you first recorded.
So he was like, yeah, let me take you to meet a few people here and there. So he introduced us to then Shilton, who was Big Kev, Big Ted, Dicky Lights, and Liki Odera.
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm loving this story. First and foremost,
I'd seen them in church, but I was too scared. You know, ando likuwa maceleb, rap community, ando tulikuwa tunaona on stage. Me, I used to be there for the experience. As in concert in church, I'm there. I never used to miss even one. Coupled with preaching, inspirational preaching, you know, while I used to go on stage and he's like, you can be anything you want to be. This is and that. Tell us stories about Joseph. You know, I mean, it was nice. Very powerful. So, yeah.
Quick one. Sobriety at this time has how many members in it?
We were 6.
So you're still 6 guys who went to the studio?
Yes.
How was that fun? I don't understand to run over that. This is CTA. We take stories slowly. That's why I told you to come at 9. So how was that first studio experience? Because probably you had been singing a cappella together. But this time now...
We had to figure out how to, first of all, we were doing a cappella and proper a cappella gospel. And then the general feel was that a cappella gospel would not really break us as artists. So we were, were requested to write like an R&B a cappella song, which we did. And so of course it was different. We had to go record.
There was somebody who produced it?
Yes. So that was our first recording. Went into studio, my first experience. And I'm like, okay, this is what happens. So this is how they do it. I think I was just observing. I was still like an introvert then. In fact, in the group, you couldn't tell, that perhaps...
Do we know anybody else in the group? Is there anybody else who...
Viola.
Oh, okay, apart from Viola, who's now who went to Berkeley. No one else pursued that route?
No.
Okay, so nobody else gets to my level. It's just me. That's why you're here.
Anyway, I'm telling you, if that's sobriety, yes, because I know if that's sobriety, there were like at least 4 other girls who were like 50 times better than me. Like better songwriters, better dancers, better stage performers. Like if these girls had pursued music, they'll be legends. I can tell you that for sure.
I hear you and I believe you.
Yeah. So we went to studio, do a fast recording, and we're trying to get it played, and we're even looking for gigs. So that's how Shilton came into that story. So Akina Big Ted, Big Kev, Dicky. I'm trying not to call him Dicky Lights, but imagine Dicky, I don't know your real name. Don't take offense.
I love it.
And Liki Odera. And, we're looking for gigs, want to perform. And we get our first gig. Now, as sobriety, before then we're performing, here and there, going to churches and everything. We had performances at churches, concerts and stuff like that. So in the gospel music scene, just bubbling under, there was this chick a cappella group who was us. So guys were beginning to know about us.
And of course, at this time, there's not many stations.
There aren't many stations and everything. So I guess that little community of performing at different people's churches is what used to spread who's who and everything. And yeah.
So at this time, you get then to meet Big Kev and Big Ted.
Yeah, in fact, we were working with them. They're like, yeah, put them in this show and all that. So we got our first gig. Can't remember what exactly it was. It was during the day. So Big Ted is like, yeah, you guys need to spruce up, look good for the show. So, you know, we went, spruced up, did our hairs, did, you know, got spruced up, looked good. And I think we went to Ashley's. Ashley's was one of the sponsors, and we did our thing at Ashley's, you know, got spruced up at Ashley's, and bang, we were ready for the performance. Performed, and, you know, we knew we were going to get paid after. But Big Ted nitachoma. Juu nimesha kusamehe. Big Ted. I forgive you.
He had expenses, guys.
He came back and told us, simulitengeneza nywele. Tweets. Simulichukua taxi. Na mulikula. Budget ilisha. Tuonane next time. Yeah. That was it. That was and I was like, what? What just happened right there?
What did that experience do then for you?
For me, I now became aware of the fact that, yes, I'm passionate about music, but I mean, I need to remember that this is an industry. And I was like, hey, by the way, ini biashara. So I'm passionate about performing. And I was looking forward to at least getting some reward for that performance. But at the same time, you know, like you said, the expenses. And I need to understand beforehand what the contract, you know, is present. I need to look at the contract. I mean, Jimmy Okumu is the one who dealt with Akina
Shilton.
Me, that's what I knew what was happening. So I realized, hey, by the way, have you stopped playing naive? So, yeah.
How old are you at this time?
I think I was around then 18, 19, you know, still doing my 2 rounds at Quiet and everything. Yeah.
Hey, I'm loving this progression.
So,
Big Ted, we would like to hear your version. The CTS seat is open. Unaweza come to clear the air as well.
Big Ted atasema bila atasema, but mimi nilimsamehe.
No, I get it. I'm just like, yeah.
Yes.
But I thank you so much for sharing that, because it's, you see, if you didn't share that, somebody may still be in that naive stage.
Yes.
You get
that. I realized that, yes, there was a passion, you know, for wanting to perform, wanting to be a singer, wanting to express your passion and share it with other people. But just realize that now you've gotten into a business that you need to understand, you know, if I'm coming to perform, oh, what are you offering? What are you not offering? How much am I getting? How much am I getting upfront? How much am I getting later? And then even as girls together, we started...
In fact, I was going to ask, what did that do to the group?
I have to say it crushed some of the, you know, the feelings of some of the group members, you know. And,
were there any exits after that?
At that point in time, we're at a very crucial point for us as a group. You see, me had already gone to school. Me had already been distracted. The rest... That's the time their parents were putting on pressure and everything. And we used to meet quite often. And because we didn't have cash, to go and meet at this place, we've hired a studio and everything. We used to meet at each other's houses. So of course the parents used to see us, you know, tukikutana tufanya tu mikutano zetu. So then pressure was mounting for, you need to go to campus, you need to go to uni, you need to think about what courses you're doing. Mi tayari nilikuwa nimeshaingia, you know. So then after that, you know, we didn't lose hope, still continued doing our stuff. And we decided to now go and see if we could record with Ted Josiah. I mean, every other artist who was like, I hit them, alikuwa under Ted Josiah. So I'm like, okay, fine, let's look for Ted Josiah.